السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. معكم دكتور مراد بوعاش. اليوم حنحكيو شوية على artificial intelligence and data science for medicine. نحكيو شوية على healthcare, medicine and public health. So first I would like to thank Dr. Hadif for the invitation at this conference. So hopefully my presentation is going to be helpful for this conference. So there's more data science than categorizing spam emails. لأنه الكثير من الناس they think it's artificial intelligence just to select email. This is a spam. This is not spam. In fact, the data science is a very powerful set of tools for life and death matters of the health and medicine. So it means that there's nothing noble and more important than using this data analysis and standing for health and medicine. And in this presentation, I will take it's going to be a non-technical, conceptual oriented look at how data science can be effectively used in the field of healthcare, medicine, and public health. We're going to explore ways of the principles and practices of data science and artificial intelligence, where they can be used to help healthcare professionals predict risks for illness and epidemics, كما شفنا مع COVID-19, and take kind of a proactive and preventive measures, better understand the nature of illness, and develop exciting new way to treat the disease. Data science and artificial intelligence can even help make healthcare more accessible, and this is what we are looking for in Algeria. Part of our priority or national priority, الأولويات الوطنية الجزائرية. It is the same thing everywhere in the world. Of course, the technology is different, the progress is different, the development is different. But it's one of the priorities in Algeria. We are trying to develop the healthcare. We are trying to develop access to the healthcare and make it more affordable and give people a greater voice in their own well-being. We'll mention some of the important procedures that are used in data science and artificial intelligence. I'm going to talk about the history of artificial intelligence and data science and the combination between data and the importance of data in artificial intelligence. But more importantly, I'm going to try to explore how these ideas are going to be used for healthcare or in healthcare. Because of this non-technical course, I think anyone with an interest of healthcare, regardless of the technical background, including me, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm trying to talk the same language as you guys, so everyone can get important ideas and insight from this presentation. So it's going to be how data science and healthcare in medicine and public health. My name is Dr. Morad Bouache. جبت الانجينير تاعي في جامعة بومرداس بالجزائر. Master's degree in computer architecture and PhD in computer architecture in University of Perpignan, France. Did another postdoc in France 1 year before going to the US for my first postdoc in the US in compiler design in the state of Illinois. Another postdoc in Canada. I was in Toronto for embedded software, senior performance engineer at Yahoo. So I landed the first time in Silicon Valley in 2012. Then after this, I moved to Verizon. 2 years in Verizon, and then now I'm working the responsible of the Artificial Intelligence Academy here in Silicon Valley at Intel. Intel Artificial Intelligence Academy is for developers, students, instructors, and startups, big companies, and the idea is to learn, develop, teach, and share. We have solutions for artificial intelligence in every domain, in every field, including medicine and the medical field. So we are trying to help people understanding and having the solution of platforms in artificial intelligence. The history of artificial intelligence, as you can see, artificial intelligence is kind of an old field, 1950, if you can say that it's all at that time, and then moved to machine learning, where we have some algorithm with the data with more complication than artificial intelligence, and then deep learning, where we have a learning based on deep neural network. So first, the neural network that was invented during the machine learning period of time, and then we deploy them with a deep learning. So the whole thing is about how we can this ability of machine to learn from experiences, from data, and then how we can extract patterns from data to solve the problem. Artificial intelligence has different fields, machine learning, where we have a lot of algorithms where we can extract data, and then the deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning field, where we have multi-layered or neural network, kind of شبكة العصبية, and you know it better than me, on the human being brain. So we try to react or act as a brain in a human being. And there is an example, the Department of Artificial Intelligence at Google, they call it brain.ai. So instead in the human being brain is going to be instead in artificial intelligence, and how we can map everything, all the actions, all the signals of neural network within our artificial intelligence neural networks. So بالعربية برمجيات قادرة على الإحساس التفكير التصرف والتكيف. A program that can sense, reason, act and adapt. This is the definition of Intel. It's exactly the same thing of what the human being is trying to do. Why deep learning? So we have two fields, two important fields in deep learning: image recognition, speech recognition, where in 2010 in image recognition the human being had maybe 5% error rate compared to the deep learning at that time was at almost 30% rate. Now we are talking about 5%, almost the same thing. A human being has the ability of image recognition exactly the same as a deep learning machine. Same thing with speech recognition, even better. Speech recognition is doing better than the human being. So you can, if you um, uh, expose music or anything to a machine, maybe the machine has the ability better than the human being. And this can be a very good experience, a very good achievement that we can use for tumor detection in medicine, in genome sequencing, biology, document sorting, oil and gas, defect detection assistant. We can see a lot of applications. As you can see here for healthcare, so enhanced diagnosis, drug discovery, patient care, research, sensory ads, all these things only for healthcare, which is huge, which is a big sector that can be transformed by artificial intelligence. Of course, with other sectors as energy, transportation, industry, and so on. So صحة is very, very important when it comes to artificial intelligence um, impact. Why? Because of all this data. In the 2000, we were talking about البيانات data. In 2010, 2015, it's all about the big data. And big data is not a concept, is a problem we try to solve. We have a huge amount of data, and the analogy is good that it's a wave of data daily. By 2020, even now, it's even more. I think generating average internet user is around like 2 gigabytes per day, and cloud video provider like 750 petabyte of data. So how we can use or take advantage of this big amount of data in business insight, operational and security insights. And then it can be connected for any field that we're trying to use data for it. So it's the pipeline is going to be this موجة البيانات or a wave of data, une vague de données qu'on va l'utiliser, qu'on va l'exploiter. Premièrement, il faut commencer par déjà after generating the data, après la génération de données, il faut la sauvegarder. Donc, il faut trouver un moyen de sauvegarder les données. So data will be stored in database and servers, and infrastructure for that is going to be data centers, especially in Algeria with a high connectivity of internet. And then we talk about data processing, and then the big data is going to be the first step, and then the artificial intelligence is going to be how we can deploy le déploiement de ces données-là pour générer ou trouver une solution qui va être en fait le but de processus. So yeah, the idea is to how we can generate the data, clean this data, even though I don't like cleaning as a word, but just pre-process the data and to make them ready. At this, we are going to delete all the bias, all the variance are going to impact our data for a very good accuracy during the inference and training. This is going to be a different thing. So deep learning has two operations that are going to be taken care, which is the training. So it's تدريب, on va faire l'entraînement d'abord avant d'utiliser cette solution à travers soit des téléphones mobiles ou bien des applications Internet. So how data science can help diagnose disease, and this is one of the things. Diagnosis is going to be the big chapter of how we can use data science and artificial intelligence to help the human being, to help this health sector, public or private, whatever we want, using this data, using the analysis, how we can predict disease risk through genetics, all this data that we generate through the genetics, and then we can use and extract and find the pattern and stand for a preventive medicine, for example. How we can help with this data, especially for cancer statistics or detecting cancer. We know that the early detection of cancer or any other disease is very critical. And survival rate decrease dramatically as the disease progresses, right? So researchers have this develop microchips to detect markers of cancer in blood samples. This is what they're trying to do to prevent, to understand better, to analyze this data, to analyze whatever our body generates, and understand very quickly to prevent things, to decrease the disease progress, how to be accurate and how to create this accuracy for classification of disease subtypes to improve the treatment and find other options. So if we detect something now, we have options, and when it's late, we don't have a lot of options, unfortunately. So it's going to be part of it. So how this data science can help to find the curves, and how we can use this data to understand better, and then help with the healthcare costs too, because in the US, if you don't have money, it's going to be very, very complicated to be treated by the hospital. If you don't have insurance, it's going to be kind of impossible to go to the hospital. The first question is, what's your ID for your insurance? What's the number of your insurance? What company of insurance you are with? So this is very important here. So I mean, looking at the cost of the healthcare is important. It's not only about the options that we have, but the cost too. So it's going to be helpful for the prevention, and also helpful for the cost of the healthcare. And the artificial intelligence is this kind of a black box, where we have models that we develop through training and inference, using the data through the data science or data analytics, and then giving this as a tool, a solution for the doctor, or being an assistant of the doctor. Artificial intelligence is here to assist, to help the doctor to take decision, or make their life easier, make their daily life, their journey easier. So helping with the treatment. We are not going to replace the doctor. We are not going to replace the pathologist. It's all about, okay, this is the tool. I'm giving you some ideas. I'm giving you some information. I'm giving you some data, that on the light of this data, you can take a decision very quickly, because sometimes the time is very crucial, and you need to take a decision in seconds, sometimes minutes, and how you can apply this data science to healthcare medicine and public health. So instead of thinking about the huge data around a lot of people, this dense numbers, dense individuals, I think the first thing we need to think about is the individual itself, the human being. And just looking at the human being, we have huge amount of data. And Moja, the wave that I was talking about, just looking at the human being with all the data that we have generated by, for example, the wearable, the Apple Watch, for example, similar to Samsung or any Apple or any smartwatch, you can see that it's a lot of data we need to take care of. Talking about the Apple Watch, a situation in the US, the name of the patient name is Scott Killian, and was sleeping. كان راقد على الوحدة تاع الصباح. The vibration, he has some vibration in his Apple Watch, due to elevated heart rate. So كان عنده الابل واتش فاقد بلي عنده لا tension. So they went to the hospital, to the emergency room, but they understand بلي it's not about يعني after the blood test there are some evidence of the heart attack. So the Apple Watch saved the patient. وكان كمل رقاده ممكن ما ينوضش. Never. So just to understand that now we have this ability, access to the healthcare, even with the smart devices, smart wearables. The idea is how we can take advantage of this data, especially with the wearables, with Internet of Things, with artificial intelligence, and help the healthcare access for genetics, for example. Everyone was talking, especially during the COVID-19 situation. We could see like understand what even people from outside of the field start understanding about the human genomes, like the sequencing. All this information was very exposed to people and understand it, especially who people who are working in artificial intelligence, especially very helpful to predict disease risk through the genetics. DNA, same thing. All the information coming, and then understanding all the data coming from the DNA. It's also helpful. So now with in healthcare, especially for the medical diagnosis, now with artificial intelligence, doctors can provide the diagnosis more efficiently and accurately with availability of the large medical data set and computer vision algorithms. So especially computer vision in the medicine, it's very helpful detecting that you have an algorithm, you have a model that can detect very quickly if there is a disease. With all the data set that we have, you can use open source online. You can generate your data. You can create your data yourself. Don't wait that you have it open source data. For example, for a medical diagnosis, breast cancer in 2016, Harvard Medical School researchers they use deep learning to identify cancer and lymph node images. Use a conventional neural network, a CNN, and a custom hardware, like specific hardware for compute with artificial intelligence model combined with a human being to achieve a lower error than either one individual. So when you see the graph here, it's the error rate when the pathologists they practice alone without any artificial intelligence model or tool or solution, they will have a high error rate compared to when we use it artificial intelligence model, and the combination is going to be amazing. Like you can see 0.005 for the combination of the pathologist with artificial intelligence model. For surgery, now with artificial intelligence, a semi-intelligent computer system or systems predict surgical steps and identify complications and warn surgeons about pending challenges. And again, here we are talking about same thing of computer vision, leveraging data from laparoscopic and the camera, like we use smart cameras. Even in the camera, we have specific artificial intelligence model that can make them even smarter. And then we have a smart system that can automate the dictation by generating notes during the surgery. And I know it once I was talking to one of the doctors, a surgeon, a friend of mine. For him is the most difficult thing is actually writing report about the surgery. So how we can focus only on the thing that we like. This is what he told me, like literally he said that I would like to focus only in surgery. This is what I like to do. I don't want to take notes. I don't want to do administration. I want that some assistant, some robot, some human individual, anything that can take care of the rest, and I will just focus in a surgery. One, because I would like to be 100%. I would like it's all about my reputation. It's about all about my profession. Second thing, it's good to be accurate, and then we can use this material for teaching too, because they think about these two things. And I mean, a lot of surgeons that don't like to be in like المستشفيات الجامعية because there's a lot of teaching behind, a lot of education things, so they spend time on this. People sometimes the surgeon doesn't like to teach. The surgeon is here to solve a problem, spend time. Sometimes the surgery is going to take like 7 hours, 6 hours. It's exhausting. So he or she want to be only focus only 100% on that. So Artificial intelligence is going to be with computer vision, with speech recognition, the one that I was explaining, natural language processing. It's going to be very helpful. Surgeon can send point of view live, feed on the operative site of expert anywhere. We're talking about telemedicine here using smart cameras and also artificial intelligence to make things easier, and then also work on a collaborative environment. Especially in Algeria, we have a lot of surgeons, a very qualified surgeon outside of Algeria, and in Europe, in the US, and they would love to participate in some specific surgeries. They don't want to be on site because of the specific they have something to do wherever they are, right? So كل واحد والدور بتاعه. So it's going to be a good idea if we can connect these people, of course, with a good infrastructure, high bandwidth internet, to connect them to hospitals and clinics where they can save lives. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you very much. I appreciate this time. This was a very good opportunity to be with you guys, and I am really thankful for the invitation again, Dr. Hadfi, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.